How's it going, everybody? This is Rob Carey here from ZenShave, and I thought I'd take an opportunity today to do a real Zen shave. I don't think it's going to get any more Zen than this. I'm up on a place called Trout Lake in northern Ontario, Canada. And right now I'm sitting on the west shore of Trout Lake, and it's really remote. When I'm done with the shave, I'll pan around and show you the shoreline. Hopefully you can hear me over the wind. It's suddenly a little bit more windy than it was when I started. But after the shave, I'll show you how I got to the shore because it's pretty unique in itself. And I'll show you the shoreline. From what I understand, the wilderness behind me here, behind the camera, goes on for 10-15 miles or more. There's nothing here but trees and bears and all kinds of things. If you're looking for a point of reference, you want to look it up on Google Maps. The nearest town is Noelleville, Canada, like Noel, N-O-E-L-L-E-V-I-L-L-E, in Ontario, Canada. It's pretty remote. I come up here every year. I don't know if you can see all the way across the lake. That's where I'm staying, is a place called Silv'ry Moon Lodge. Fantastic place. We've been coming up here for about 10 years. My family, myself and my wife and I, 2 girls, my brother and his 2 boys and his wife, and my sister and her family. It's sort of a family tradition. We come up here every year, last 2 weeks of August, and it's just awesome. Why is this a Zen shave? Well, there's a couple things. One, I'm using one of my own brushes. Some of you know I make brushes. This one here, it might surprise some of you. Even though I make a lot of brushes, I don't keep a lot for myself. As a matter of fact, I really only have 3 brushes in my stable that I use pretty regularly. One being this one here, which was one of my very first ones that I thought was sort of beyond, basic wood turning. Like, once I got to a point where I thought, hey, that looks good, somebody might want to buy that, I decided to keep this one. I really like it. The knot in it is from the Golden Nib. It was a short loft, 24 millimeter. I just love it. This brush is got to be going on 3-4 years old now, I think, and you can see what a beauty that is and how much bloom is on that. This brush is just to die for. So I'm using this brush. That's part of the Zen shave. The second part is the obvious. I am sitting right now with my legs in the water on a nice, rock shore in Ontario, Canada. The lake is about as clean as you get. It's cold. You can pretty much drink right from this lake. Minimal treatment required to drink from it. It's just beautiful. And I thought I'd do my shave up here today. So it's going to be a little tricky because I forgot my mirror. I literally drove across this lake, not in a boat. That's the surprise at the end of the video I'll show you. But I drove across this lake and I forgot my mirror. So I could go back and get it, but I thought, what the heck, I'll just use the little screen on the camera as my mirror. Hopefully you guys won't take any offense to me staring directly at you as I laugh. For soap today, we're going to use one of my first and still favorite soaps, GOF Trumper Violet Shaving Soap. Just love it. It's got a nice kind of natural floral scent, and up here with this fresh air, I thought that was a perfect go-to for this. And I think I'll finish off with some Ogalalla Bay Rum, sage and cedar. Just love this stuff too. It's a particularly strong aftershave, but the woody scent of cedar is pretty much second to none as far as I'm concerned. I have a lot of cedar-based soaps and aftershaves. Ogalalla just nails it. This stuff is fantastic. So with that, let's get started and see how we do. We're going to lather and build everything right from the lake using one of my bowls. I made this bowl. I haven't made many more bowls. I think I've only made 5 or 6 bowls in the last year or 2. It just seems like a lot of wood for something. But I made this one about 2-3 years ago. It's been my go-to bowl. I got some nice, I don't know if you can see there's some detailing in there to get. Actually, I find it really does help with agitating and making lather. It's quite something to enjoy. So we're going to build soap, lather, all with water just from the lake. I'm literally shin deep in it. So let's get started. I'm going to dip my brush down here, get her good and wet. Doesn't get much easier than this. Beautiful day here right now. It's got to be about maybe 25-26 degrees Celsius. Humidity's low. Just beautiful, beautiful sunny day. So, wet brush, soap. We're going to give that a bit of a shake. Load the brush a bit. I just love the smell of this stuff. It was one of my first soaps. It's funny, I use it quite often, but I have so many soaps I haven't really gone through any and completed any yet. And this one here I haven't finished yet either. Looking over my shoulder a little bit here because I got my 2 little girls out here exploring the north. Try not to get eaten by a bear, okay, Cameron? Thank you. There are bears up here. I saw one just this morning, actually. We were driving into town and we came up to a narrow part of the creek bed and there was a little bear there. Not exactly a cub, but maybe a yearling or something like that, black bear. And he saw us and took off pretty much as fast as they could. They don't really like to come anywhere near people up here. They're really not a concern. They're a pretty friendly animal. But then we saw him again on the way back, a little bear. A couple nights before that, we saw a great big moose driving on a trail out in the west side of the lake. We saw a really big moose back there. Driving out at night, it was almost dusk, and we're going down a trail in an ATV type vehicle, and this great big moose come right out in front of us, maybe about 50 yards ahead of us. And if you've never seen a moose in the wild, wow, it's something to behold. They are a massive, large creature, and I treated them with a fair bit of respect. I didn't want that creature feeling agitated by me in any way, because if he wanted to, he could have done some serious damage. So brush is loaded. I'm just going to dip right back into the lake, get some moisture there, and I'm going to start lathering. I have an audience here. I've got my 2 little girls over the shoulder. Say hi, girls.
Hi.
My oldest daughter, Bryce, who's 13. My youngest daughter, Cameron, who is 9. Both of them are turning, well, Cameron turns 10 in October. Bryce turns 14 in December. And this is a particularly new time in Bryce's life. She starts high school in just about 1 or 2 weeks. And I'm not sure I've exactly come to terms with that, the idea of having a teenage girl in high school. Where did all the years go? I don't know. It's definitely something I gotta figure. I'm sure all you other dads out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Those of you with your girls in particular, it is a concern. It is a concern. But Bryce tonight is actually gonna try something different too. We're gonna drop her off on an island. They're a bit ways down the lake, just a fairly remote island. There's nothing on it. Her and her 21-year-old cousin are gonna camp out on the island tonight and just, you know, enjoy nature. It's the first time she's done that. She's been bugging me to do that for quite some time. So this lather's starting to come out very nicely. Still a little bit airy, but this water, this lake water is just beautiful. It doesn't get any better. You see, I haven't even added any more water other than that first dip, and I'm getting a really, really good lather here. And this short loft, I just love it. It's not it's a very nice, like a silver tip. It's not very scritchy, but it's just a lather making machine. It's just booming. I don't know if you guys realize the sun's kind of over my shoulder here. Hopefully I'm not too much in the black. Once we'll find out. If not, I'll have to try to do another ZenShave on the shores on Friday, 2 days from now, which is the day before we unfortunately have to go home. Which, you know, been up here for 2 weeks, and I thought, you know, I've never really done a video. Everybody asks. I know a lot of you guys like watching shave every day videos, and like I said, it doesn't get any more zen than this. This is awesome. Usually when I come up here, I always shave on the picnic table over there. I'll come out, lay all my stuff out on a picnic table, I'll have a couple of bowls of water, and away I go. I'll shave. So this lather is looking pretty good. I can definitely live with it. It's just, I don't know if you guys can see, we're definitely getting there. And it's a little airy. It's a little airy, but you know what? It's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. So I'm gonna set this down. Whoa! I almost dropped it. And I'm gonna step down in the water here, right into the lake, and I'm gonna just wash my face a bit. This isn't exactly the best of prep, but given the circumstances and the conditions, it doesn't really matter. This is well worth it. Oh, it feels so good. All right. Let the application of the lather begin. So, perfect, this rock here. There's actually a little well-formed seat right to plant my butt in. It's just, doesn't get much better. I might actually come across the lake and do this again on Friday anyways. So, bear with me here. I can't really see too much because the sun is over my shoulder. Hopefully I'm not applying lather up my nostrils or anything like that too aggressively. I'm gonna stand up and Look a little closer. A little on the airy side, but definitely, you know, given the wind here, it's gonna be something that dries out no matter what you do. Oh, I can't tell you how good it feels just sitting here and doing this. I mean, I can almost sit here and put lathers in my face and enjoy the experience. Alright, for utensils, we're going to use probably one of my favorite shavers. It's an old vintage Gillette Aristocrat. I just love this razor. It's so smooth. It's rhodium plated, I believe this one is. Just beautiful. Very smooth shaver. Bend over, and let's see how I do. You'll have to forgive me if I'm missing spots because I really can't see much of anything. But that's okay. This is awesome. I usually do my first pass straight down on the upper part of my face. Seems to work the best for me. I had at least, I think, 3 days worth of growth here, so I'm mowing through a fair bit. But again, I can't see very well at all. That's the way. I'm sure you guys will cut me a little bit of slack. First video and all, and given the circumstances. It's just fantastic. Just fantastic. Girls are making faces at me over my shoulder. Of course, much like many of you, some members of my family think I'm a little bit insane for doing stuff like this, or, you know, just the general wet shaving hobby in general. But that's okay. We know better. I got my brother-in-law over across the lake. I've given him a shaving set I made for him, a really nice maple bowl and brush. Gave it to him a few years. I know he kind of enjoys it a fair bit. It's not as regular a wet shaver as I am, but he's in the paramedic business, and he's usually in more of a hurry than I am, so I cut him a little bit slack, you know. I figure not a bad first pass, could use better, but given the viewability circumstances, it's gonna have to do. So I'm gonna rinse and repeat. Okay, boaters out there, wave to the boaters, everyone. Hi. Oh, this lake water. If any of you have ever, or those of you ever get the chance, if you like the outdoors and you want a relaxing vacation in nature, you owe it to yourself to try Northern Ontario. It really doesn't get any better. It's just beautiful up here. The weather, I'm usually late summer. I mean, I'm sitting on the shore right now. The bugs aren't even bothering me. Sometimes if you come up here in June or May, you're gonna get eaten alive. Like there's bugs up here as big as sparrows. And they bite, they take chunks out of you. Now we have had some mosquito and some deer flies. They're pretty bitey bastards, deer flies. They get on my nerves. We've had some experience with them the last week, but not too many. And, you know, certainly not anything you can't deal with a can of off bug spray. How am I doing there? Am I fairly well lathered? I can't see.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm gonna stand up again.
Got a bunch in your ear.
I got ear? Oh, that's probably the least of my worries right now. Feels good. That's any way to look at it. I can see where the turn. Again, might not be perfect given the conditions, but it sure feels good. You want to come in and say hi?
Yeah.
Okay, my youngest daughter wants to come into the frame here to say hi. Lean in.
Hi.
Say hi, this is Cameron.
Hi.
There we go. My oldest daughter, I think, is a little camera shy. She won't come over. Right, Bryce?
Yeah.
So next pass I go out in, from the ear in. Get some waves from that boat splashing up my shorts. I'll frequently go against the grain or down, so not more like across the grain on my neck. I've got a sideward grain, it goes mostly all the way across my neck. So I'll usually do my second pass, I'll go down and across the grain very gently, because if I have any problem areas, it's my neck. That's where I don't cut myself, but if I go too aggressive or chase a BBS there, then I'm going to get an ingrown hair in a day or two or something like that, and it's just not worth it. So I'll do a very gentle, against the grain pass down there periodically. Sometimes I just do straight up, straight with the grain on my neck. It's just, you know, sometimes that comfortable shave is better than the baby or BBS, and you know, not getting an ingrown hair is definitely worth the trade-off. So anyway you cut it. It's nice to be able to just reach down there and rinse off right in the lake. Feels good, really good. So the other day, my brother and I went out in my ATV vehicle, and we did some burro hunting so that I can make some brushes out of some of the natural woods up here. Mostly softwoods up here, pines, birch, cedars, you know, those kinds of things. So not a lot of great wood for working with, except when you find the burros, because the burros are, on some of these softwood trees up here are very dense, very hard, so they do take on a lot of the nice machinability of good hardwood. And we found a whole bunch of them. I got a whole table full. I posted pictures of it on my Facebook channel. It's facebook.com/ZenShave for anybody who's interested. You can see them. I'll have to take them home and mill them out before I can do anything with them. Probably, and they'll have to dry probably for about minimum 6 months to a year, depending on the wetness of the wood. That's feeling pretty good. I will go for a third pass today, because why not? It's just that kind of day. Still got plenty of lather left here in my bowl, and it's holding up pretty good. Even though it was a little on the airy side, it's not really fading out on me, and I feel like I've had pretty good cushion. But I think anytime you're outside shaving with a breeze on you, it's probably going to have a little bit of effect on the dampness of your lather. But we'll give her another go. Let's see how we do. Smells great, this Trumper's Violets. Oh, it feels so good. A little bit up the nose. Awesome, just awesome. Okay. Now, for my final pass, I traditionally do something different at home. I'm going to do it here today, despite my preference to be having a pretty good mirror for this thing. Is I use a CJB Chemsori type, only for around my mouth and the corners of my mouth area, above my nose. I think these things are the best for getting rid of all the little hairs along there. I don't really prefer them for the sides of my face or the neck yet. Just the areas that kind of irritate me, so this is tricky without a mirror, that's for sure. I think we're getting there. No arterial spray yet, that's good. don't know if you can hear it, but my brother and my nephew are over there playing guitar music way over across the lake. I can hear them vaguely singing and playing, but I don't know if you guys can pick it up. It's quite nice. It's really adding to that ZenShave. Puff up my lip a little bit. Sometimes it helps me, I think. More or less shaving by feel right now. I can't see too much in this little screen with the sun against me. You know what? That's about as far as I'm going to go with this, just to be safe today. It's about as far as I usually go anyways. I usually just like to get underneath my nose and here and the sides of my mouth too. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it really bothers me when I have little prickly hairs in the very corners of my mouth, and sometimes I miss with my DE. I don't know why. So, nose to ears, past, third pass. I'm just going to go this way. Sorry if my face is filling the frame of the camera so much. It's a necessity of me being able to see what it is I'm doing. Feels really good. Definitely not my closest shave, but given the circumstances, feels great. Yeah, fantastic. And yeah, getting a little aired out, I think, on my lather bit there. Still there, but we're almost home, so certainly feels good. I don't feel any irritation or anything at all. Yep. Doesn't feel like I've missed anything. It feels pretty good. I'd say that's easily a DFS for me. Damn fine shave. BBS in a couple places, but other than that, you know, can't ask for much more out here. The experience in itself is just awesome. So I'm going to rinse. I'm going to put on a little bit of alum block. That's good. Perfect. All right, towel. Just out of reach. Oh. Oh man, just fantastic. Alum block here. Little tip for those of you who like to use alum or want to get alum. I don't know if you know about it, but you can get these things a lot of times at an Indian grocery store. It's pretty much the same thing. It's potassium alum as far as I know. It's fairly common for Indian guys to use these as a deodorant instead of regular deodorant stick. And you can get it in Indian grocer for $2 or $3. I mean, it's a good hunk of alum. I've had this one for probably 2 years. I still got a lot to go on it. But if you're looking for a cheap source of alum, that might be it. So I'm just going to dip her in the water a little bit. My audience is back over my shoulders here. Hello, girls.
Hello.
You going to come out in front and say hello, Bryce?
No.
No?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
Camera shy. That feels good, really good. So I usually take my alum when I'm done with it. I've got a little.
Put some on?
You want to put some alum on?
Yes.
Maybe later. I usually wrap my alum up in this. I've got a little piece of like t-shirt material. I just find it helps it from keeping it dry. I find when you leave your alum wet, it tends to dissolve or get brittle. But by wrapping it up in this, I find it gives a little bit of cushion for bumping it. And I store it in these wood boxes that I give out sometimes when I have extras. I give them out with my brushes. It's one of those if I have them kind of things. So there's that. I'm just going to wait a minute for that alum to dry out a little bit more, and then I'll rinse it. and then I'll apply some of that Ogalalla, which you got to shake this stuff really good, they say. Just love the smell of this stuff. Oh, it smells like the North Woods. Really nice blue bottle too. I like the branding. It's got a very sort of antique old western kind of feel to it. Yep, feeling pretty good. All right, rinse off. Fantastic. Dry it off again. Oh, just beautiful. Yeah. All right, a little bit of Ogalalla. Oh, you know, I could pretty much just lie right back down here and fall asleep. I feel that good right now. The breeze is just amazing. Nice smell of cedar. Something tells me these two little girls standing next to me, though, would not let me get a minute's worth of sleep. Right, girls? All right, so that's it. That's my shave of the day at ZenShave, and feel free to look up my website. It's www.zenshave.com. I'm also on Facebook, facebook.com/ZenShave, and Twitter, twitter.com/ZenShave. Now, as promised, I'm going to pause here for a minute and take the camera off. I'm going to show you how I got across this lake and how I have to go back. All right, now as I promised, hopefully you can hear me over the wind. If not, I'll have to dub it over. But this here, what you're looking at, is an Argo. These vehicles, I can't tell you how amazing these vehicles are. My wife actually works for the company ODG in Ontario, New Hamburg, Ontario, Canada, and they make these things, and they are amazing, amazing vehicles. This thing goes through anything. It is an ATV vehicle, and as you can see, I've got it currently winched to shore right now because I didn't want to let it just sit that much stress in the parking brake, and I drove that thing across this lake from way over there. Now, I don't know if you can see right there at that boat launch. That's the Silv'ry Moon Lodge right over there. Great place. Highly recommended if you're looking for a nice vacation. But this thing here, it goes through anything. We've had this thing off-roading. We've gone over rocks, fallen trees, and all kinds of stuff. This is, if you're looking for an ATV vehicle, except no substitute, this is literally a tank. Fantastic little vehicle. So I'm going to pack up now and go drive it back across the lake. See you later, everybody.